43,841 total confirmed cases, about 42,000 recoveries, and 1,300 active cases. COVID is real. Stay safe. Coming up this morning, police in Ashanti region arrest some persons believed to have gunned down a mobile money vendor at Edriso, the third of such deaths in the last 2 months in the Ashanti region.
Evidence we have gathered so far is giving us some assurance that this suspect that has been arrested has a connection with the earlier robbery.
We have details, and Finance Minister defends involvement of his family member and senior minister's son in the Japan Mineral Royalty Agreement as he takes on CSOs and minority in Parliament for what he calls a lack of genuineness in their objection to the deal.
We look at competence first and then move on. It's the same thing about appointing a finance minister who has the competence to do all we are doing.
Later in business, more than 10,000 manufacturing workers lose jobs as a result of COVID-19, but the Association of Ghana Industries assures of some recalls when the situation improves. We've got details at 6:15.
And President Akufo-Addo commits to peaceful, fair and transparent elections with almost 100 days to the polls.
I will do whatever it takes to ensure that the 7th December elections are free, fair.
Do stay for details in a moment. Thanks for your company. The details now. Barely 24 hours after armed men gunned down a mobile money vendor at Edriso, police have arrested some persons believed to be involved in the killing. The suspects are said to have killed Owusu Ajekum, 32, with an AK-47 rifle and bolted with his daily sales. This brings to 3 people shot by robbers in the past 2 months in the region. Nanaya Ojima was at the scene and filed this report.
This is Onye Roundabout, the commercial hub of the town where the incident occurred. The suspected killers had come in to transact business. Few minutes after the transaction began, one went to the back and the other stayed here, having conversations with him. The one who went to the back demanded that he give him his bag in which he kept the money he had made in the day. Nobody can tell what exactly happened in there. But few minutes later, the one in the front shot him and he died on his way to the hospital. Unit Committee Chairman Paul Atta tells Love News the robbers who came on foot shot randomly to scare people who came after them. Bullets could be seen on some of the buildings here.
Some people chased them because of the gun that they were holding. They gave several warning shots, which even one of them even affected the pipe around. Some people also attacked some drivers over there and they shot the driver.
Nanaya Ojima with that report. Well, the Ashanti Region Police Command says it has made some arrests. ASP Godwin Ahianyo speaks for the command.
We have done some physical examination and other evidence we have gathered so far is giving us some assurance that this suspect that has been arrested has a connection with the earlier robbery.
ASP Godwin Ahianyo is PRO of the Ashanti Region Police Command. Here in Accra, a visually impaired woman who depends on her children for survival in the Domifase community, where scores of military men were deployed to fish out those who attacked 2 of their men days ago, is struggling to cope with life. Walking through the main community and knocking on doors, my colleague Latif Idris chanced on the woman in her 70s, abandoned as her children fled the community. He has her story in the following report.
I'm standing at the center of Domifase, a community deserted by able-bodied men who have left behind women, children. This followed Monday's confusion between the civilian population of this community, particularly the youth, and some members of the military. All we can find are some of the pets. You would find the cats lying quietly. Their owners have fled the home. I'm a Stacy. If I know Okay, thank you very much. She has a bit of a challenge. She's visually impaired. She cannot see, and she's the only one left in the building.
Latif Idris with that report. Now, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has defended the involvement of his family member Gabi Otredako and the son of the senior minister Kofi Osafo-Maafo in the Ajapa Mineral Royalty Agreement. Mr. Ofori-Atta tells Joy News the situation is the same as the president appointing his cousin as finance minister based on competence. Some civil society organizations in a statement called for suspension of the deal for further consultation. Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta says he discounted the statement after questioning its genuineness.
The issue that really was hurtful and made me discount the letter was when they ended saying that we are trying to stop elite capture, which essentially meant that we here are doing this for ourselves and we have some shares in that. So if that frames the mindset in which it was brought, it makes it really very difficult to see whether it is genuine.
The finance minister also says the minority in parliament always supported the deal and accuses its members of making a U-turn only for political capital. But NDC MP on Parliament's Finance Committee, John Jinapor, disputes this.
The finance minister is saying is not true. Go and read the committee reports. It's a majority decision. Most of our committee reports are done on a unanimous basis to build consensus. And if you read the committee report, the minority insisted that this deal is not a good deal. On the floor of Parliament, we made our point clear, loud, and walked out of the House in protest.
John Jinapor is NDC MP on Parliament's Finance Committee. Now, the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Abrahima, has served notice he'll be heading to court to challenge the National Communications Authority's request for them to pay 2,000 cedis before releasing the full list of radio stations shut down by the authority. He's been speaking to Joy News.
Well, I think that if we commit to pay the amount that they are demanding, I think we ourselves would be in violation of what the RTI law requires us to do. And by they demanding that we pay this amount before they give this information to the public, I think that they are in violation.
Well, Deputy Information Minister Pius Hajide says government will look into the issue given the public interest.
I think that the argument for a certain amount of money may have to be considered.
If it comes to you, is this something that the ministry would like to look into it?
Of course, borders on public interest, and that has been established in the request.
Pius Hajide is Deputy Information Minister. Now, President Akufo-Addo has identified bad governance and poverty as main challenges facing the Ghanaian society and has committed to eradicate it. But according to him, that can only be achieved in an atmosphere of peace and stability. Addressing a Durbar held in his honor at Keta in the Volta region, the president, who is seeking a second term in office, promised to ensure peaceful, fair and transparent election in December.
I assure you that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that the 7th December elections are free, fair, peaceful, and transparent, so that the will of the Ghanaian people is made manifest.
You heard President Akufo-Addo there. Now, the entire community of over 1,000 people once trekked for hours to a muddied stream to get drinking water. Now, villagers of Freboy can heave a sigh of relief thanks to Promasi Ghana Limited, producers of Cowbell. A borehole, one of 20 that the beverage maker is building across the country, now means clean drinking water is readily available. Justice Beidou reports.
Children or people have to walk like 2 or 3 miles to fetch water from other community every weekend. So when they are not coming with the water, it means I'm not going to get water, or we are not going to get water to do our infection prevention.
This is the story of the health workers at Freboy, a small community in the Ashanti region. This facility, built 5 years ago, is the health lifeline for villagers in this small town. And yet, a lack of water has held back its ability to work properly.
Our biggest problem in this town was getting water into this chips compound.
It's not hard to find where people in Freboy used to fetch water. It is a brownish stream just on the outskirts. It has dried up and broken sticks floating all over.
The rainwater used to wash all the filth into the water. That's what we use for everything here.
We ask for God's blessings for Cowbell, and we would always support the work they do. As a socially responsible company, we thought it wise to get potable water very close to the chip compound, because this is where our health facility is. Because as a brand,